Hello students, in the last lecture we completed the topics of properties of integers, then definition of divisibility and then result on divisibility. Next we completed the division algorithm or division theorem. For any two integers a and b, we can express a is equal to bq plus r, where q is the quotient and r is the remainder, where 0 less than or equal to r less than b, we can express it in a unique way. Right now, in this class, we will discuss the definitions of GCD, greatest common divisor, and then definition of prime number and relatively prime or co-prime. Next one is the Euclidean algorithm, right? So, right, first we see the definition of greatest common divisor or GCD. A non-zero integer d is said to be common divisor of integers a and b if d divides a and d divides b. Right? So it is the definition of common divisor. To say that d is said to be common divisor of two integers a and b, the condition is d divides a and d divides b. From these two, d divides a and d divides b, always in the definition of divides, if whenever a divides b, the value of a must be less than value of b. Second condition is b is equal to a into x, where x is an integer, right? Here also d divides a and d divides b. From these two, we can conclude that d is, otherwise the value of d is always less than both a and b, right? Next, see the definition of GCD. A non-zero integer d is said to be GCD of a and b if d is a common divisor of a and b, first one, and second one is d is the largest of all common divisors. So to say that d is GCD of two integers a and b, the first condition is d must be a common divisor of a and b, and second condition is among all common divisors, d is the largest common divisor or greatest common divisor. Now we will see one example here. Find divisors of 12 and 14, right? So divisors of 12, what are the divisors of 12? So 12 divisors are plus or minus 1, right? Next, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 4, then plus or minus 6, and then plus or minus 12. These are the divisors of 12. Next, divisors of 14 are plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, and then plus or minus 7 and plus or minus 14. Right? Now, common divisors of 12 and 14 are, what are the common divisors? If you observe these two, common divisors are plus or minus 1 and plus or minus 2 are the common divisors. What are the common divisors? Minus 2, minus 1, plus 1, plus 2. Among all the common divisors, what is the largest common divisor? Greatest common divisor is 12 and 14 equal to plus 2. So we have four common divisors, minus 2, minus 1, plus 1, plus 2. Among these four common divisors, the greatest common divisor is plus 2. So GCD of 12 and 14 is 2, right? So next definition is prime number. A positive integer p greater than 1 is called prime number if the only positive divisors of p are only two numbers. One is 1 and the second one is a number itself. See, the only positive integers that divide p are 1 and p. If a number is not prime number, then the number is said to be composite number, right? So if the number have only two divisors, 1 and itself, we call it as prime number. Otherwise the number is composite number. So here 1 is neither prime number nor composite number. Neither prime number nor composite number. Next one is, right, if a number is not a prime number, number is said to be composite number. So examples of prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7 and so on are prime numbers. So what is the smallest prime number? 2 is the smallest prime number, and also the only even prime number is 2. Next, if a number is not prime number, then it is said to be composite number. That is, if a number can be expressed as product of two numbers and those two number values must be greater than 1. So if you consider examples, 4 is a composite number because 4 can be expressed as 2 into 2. 6 is a composite number, 8 is a composite number, and also 9 also composite number. So these are composite numbers, right? Next definition is relatively prime or co-prime. If GCD of A comma B is equal to 1, then those two numbers A and B are called relatively prime or co-prime or prime to each other. If the set of numbers A1, A2, so on An are said to be relatively prime in pairs if, what is the condition? Their GCD is equal to 1. If we consider any two numbers GCD, its value is equal to 1, then we say that that set of numbers are relatively prime. So if we take 9, 14, 85 are relatively prime are co-prime to each other, relatively prime in pairs. What is the meaning of relatively prime in pairs? If we consider any two numbers GCD of 9 comma 14, greatest common divisor of 9 and 14 is 1. Similarly, GCD of 14 comma 85 is 1 and GCD of 9 and 85 is 1. So these three numbers are relatively prime in pairs. Next we see the lemma on GCD, greatest common divisor. If A is equal to BQ plus R, which is the statement of division algorithm, where A comma B comma Q and R are integers, these four numbers are integers, then GCD of A comma B equal to GCD of B comma R. This is these two GCDs are equal, we have to prove that one. So consider the given statement, which is A is equal to BQ plus R, where A, B, Q and R, 4 are integers. So we need to prove that GCD of A comma B is equal to GCD of B comma R. So consider the LHS side GCD is equal to D1. So let D1 is equal to GCD of A comma B and D2 is equal to GCD of D comma R, right? So since D1 is equal to GCD of A comma B, what is the meaning of GCD, which is the greatest common divisor, right? So D1 divides both A and B, right? So already we proved in the previous class, if A divides B and A divides C, then A divides B plus C and A divides B minus C. In the previous lecture, we proved this one. After the definition of divisibility, we prove some 7 or 8 results on divisibility. So Among 8 results, this is the one of the result. If A divides B and A divides B, then A divides both B plus C and B minus C. Since D1 divides both A and B, if we observe here, D1 divides A and D1 divides B. Because D1 divides B, D1 also divides multiple of B. So D1 divides BQ, right? D1 divides BQ. If you see this one, if A divides B and A divides C, then A divides B minus C. A divides B minus C. Using this result, we have D1 divides both A and D1 divides BQ. So D1 divides A minus BQ. From this statement, what is A minus BQ? A minus BQ is R. So D1 divides R, right? So here already we have D1 divides A and here we get D1 divides R. Hence any common divisor of A and B, because we start with D1 is equal to GCD of A comma B, the meaning of that is D1 divides both A comma B. But here we get D1 divides R. So what we can say from here? Any divisor of A comma B also a divisor of B and R, because here we get D1 divides R. So any common divisor of A and B is also a common divisor of B and R. But B and R, what is its greatest common divisor? GCD of B comma R is D2. What is the meaning of greatest common divisor? It is the greatest among all common divisors. Here we have D1 is the divisor of B and R, but for B and R, D2 is the greatest common divisor. So what is the relation between D1 and D2? Just D1 is the common divisor, D2 is the greatest common divisor. So we get D1 less than or equal to D2, because D2 is the greatest among all common divisors. Similarly, D2 is GCD of B comma R, implies D2 divides both B and R, right? So D2 also divides A is equal to BQ plus R. Why? Because here D2 divides B, right? Because D2 divides B, D2 divides any multiple of B. So D2 divides BQ. Already here we have D2 divides R. D2 divides BQ and D2 divides R. So D2 divides BQ plus R. What is BQ plus R? BQ plus R is nothing but A. So D2 divides A. Now we start here, D2 is the common divisor of B comma R, but here we get D2 is the common divisor of both A and B, right? So any common divisor of B comma R is also common divisor of A and B, right? But what is A and B greatest common divisor? A and B greatest common divisor is D1. Right? D1 is GCD, but whereas D2 is only common divisor. So what is the relation between common divisor and the GCD, greatest common divisor? It is the greatest, otherwise the largest among all common divisors. So we get D2, it is the common divisor. D1 is the greatest common divisor. So D2 less than or equal to D1. From equations 1 and 2, here we have D1 less than or equal to D2. Here we have D2 less than or equal to D1. From these two, we get D1 is equal to D2. What is D1? GCD of AB is equal to GCD of B comma R. Right, already we discussed the lemma, which is whenever we express A is equal to BQ plus R, then GCD of A comma B is equal to GCD of B comma R. It is a very important lemma. Continuation of that lemma, here we discussed the Euclidean algorithm, right? See the statement, when A and B be any two integers such that A greater than B greater than 0. So we need to remember one thing here, A value is greater than B and both values are negative integers, right? If R1 is the remainder when A is divided by B. Here I will explain. Because A greater than 0, when you divide A by B, R1 is the remainder. Next one, R2 is the remainder when B is divided by R1. When B is divided by R1, what is the remainder? R2. Next, when R3 is the remainder where R1 is divided by R2, what is the remainder? R3. Right? And so on. And if Rn plus 1 is equal to 0, that means by continuing like this in somewhere, that means R1, R2, R3 and so on, somewhere Rn plus 1 is equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, then the last non-zero remainder Rn is the GCD of A comma B. So first, given that two integers A and B, A value is greater than B. Both are non-negative integers. When A is divided by B, we have R1 is the remainder. Again, B is divided by R1, R2 is the remainder. If R1 is divided by R2, R3 is the remainder. And continuing so on, in somewhere Rn plus 1 is equal to 0, we need to prove that Rn, the last non-zero remainder, is the GCD of A comma B. Now we see the proof. Let A and B be any two integers such that A greater than B greater than 0. In the previous lecture, we completed the division algorithm. In that division algorithm, whenever two non-negative integers A and B are there, A can be expressed as BQ plus R, right? How can we express A? A is equal to BQ plus R, where the remainder R value is 0 less than or equal to R less than B. This is division algorithm. So by division algorithm, there exist integers Q and R1 such that A is equal to BQ plus R1, 0 less than or equal to R1 less than B. Suppose if remainder R1 is equal to 0, we stop this theorem proof. Then we conclude that GCD of A comma B is nothing but B, right? Suppose R1 not equal to 0. Again, R1 is a non-negative integer because both A and B are non-negative integers. Then by division algorithm, again there exist two integers. Those two integers we are taking it as Q2 and R2 such that B is equal to Q2 R1 plus R2. 0 less than or equal to R2 less than R1. That means first given two integers are A and B. By dividing A by B, we get the remainder R1. Again, this B is divided by R1. Again, there exist two integers Q2 and R2, where R2 is the remainder. This R2 value is always lies in between 0 and R1. 0 and R1. Right? Next, consider again R1 and R2. If R2 is not equal to 0, if R2 is equal to 0, we stop the proof there and we conclude the GCD. Suppose if possible, R2 not equal to 0. If R2 not equal to 0, again apply the division algorithm for these two, R1 and R2. So there exist integers Q3 and R3 such that R1 can be expressed as R1 can be expressed as R2 into Q3 plus R3. What about this R3? This R3 value is always lies in between 0 and R2. So 0 less than or equal to R3 less than R2. So by continuing like this, from the first step we get A equal to BQ1 plus R1, right? Where 0 less than or equal to R1 less than B. From the second step, we get B equal to Q2 R1 plus R2. 0 less than or equal to R2 less than R1. From the next step, we get R1 equal to Q3 R2 plus R3. 0 less than or equal to R3 less than R2. So by continuing like this, suppose if Rn not equal to 0, in the place of 3, we take Rn not equal to 0, then Rn plus 1 is equal to Rn minus 1 is equal to Rn into Qn plus 1 plus Rn plus 1. When it is possible means if Rn is non-zero. See here, if R2 is non-zero, then only we can divide R1 by R2. If R2 is equal to 0, division is not possible. So like that we get a sequence of numbers, right? In this sequence we have set of remainders R1, R2, R3 and so on Rn. Since R1, R2, so on, all these are remainders, always the remainders are always follows the decreasing order. So decreasing sequence of non-negative integers only, because both A and B are non-negative. So because suppose in the first case remainder is 100, in the second case remainder becomes some 10, in the third case it will become 3, in the fourth case it will become 2 or 1. So at some after a finite number of steps, remainder must be equal to 0. So there exists some remainder Rn plus 1 which is equal to 0. So what is the conclusion from the previous lemma? Whenever A is equal to BQ plus R, if A is equal to BQ plus R, so what is the conclusion from this one? GCD of A comma B is equal to GCD of B comma R, right? GCD of A comma B equal to GCD of B comma R. So from this one, GCD of AB equal to GCD of B comma R1. From the second statement, GCD of B comma R1 is equal to GCD of R1 comma R2. From the third equation, GCD of R1 R2 equal to GCD of R2 and R3. So by continuing like this, we get and so on, which is equal to GCD of Rn comma Rn plus 1. What is Rn plus 1? So somewhere Rn plus 1 is equal to 0. That means this value is 0. So GCD of any non-zero number. So GCD of 3 comma 0 is equal to 3. So GCD of Rn comma 0 is nothing but Rn, right? So hence GCD of AB is equal to Rn. But this is the very important theorem. Why? Because to calculate the GCD of any two numbers, right, every time we need to write the set of divisors of A and set of divisors of B. Suppose if A and B are very large numbers, to find out the set of divisors of both A and B is difficult. To overcome that, we apply the Euclidean algorithm. Using this algorithm and this division procedure, whenever the last remainder is equal to 0, if Rn plus 1 is equal to 0, then what is the GCD? Rn is the GCD. So we can conclude that the last non-zero remainder is the GCD of A comma B, right? Always. So you need to remember one more thing. GCD of A comma B is always unique. To apply either the Euclidean algorithm procedure or set of divisors procedure, GCD of any two numbers is always unique, right? So in the next class we will see the concept of how to calculate the GCD of two numbers using Euclidean algorithm, right?